rainfall and the south like a waterfall of freedom allows me to bow on my knees, freely long awaited, long suffering. What days did we have those of our ancestors from the kingdom when they placed the chain on you?
Welcome to Learning About Africa, where all roads lead to learning about Africa. My name is Kevin, and I'll be your guide today as we share this first podcast of ours. And I am extremely excited to introduce, we call Tonton Louis, but is Ozen Louis Oulon. Can you pronounce that for me?
Ozen Louis Oulon.
Ozen Louis Oulon.
Oulon. Yep.
Oulon. Almost like the tea. All right. Well, Tonton Louis is an award-winning journalist from Burkina Faso, a world-renowned journalist and a winner of the 2004 CNN Award for Best African Journalist, and the winner of the Swiss Southern Radio Award in 2004. He's been a director of Burkina Faso's national radio and television and a general manager of the Omega Media Group, a privately and highly respected media outlet in Burkina Faso. And I'm very honored to have him. He will be co-hosting with me today. I also want to thank Dr. Jean-Pierre S. Can you pronounce it for me? Tetome Mefo?
Tetome Foi.
Tetome Foi.
Yeah.
We call him Smith.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The S is for Smith.
S is for Smith. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. And Dr., we'll call him Dr. Smith, is an expert in project management. He holds a PhD in this field as well as a degree in learning and development. He is also an English professor and head of the English department in the INJS, that is the National Institute of Youth and Sports. And as the president of the BRDAC, the Bureau of Research and Development for Civic Action, and an NGO accredited as an election observation mission in Gabon. He is committed to civic and political development in the country and a founder of the Gabonese Agency for Research and Technology Development, AGRDT. He works together with technological innovations and particularly in the development of AI-based tools. And he also leads the Sigrin project, which aims to design an AI chip capable of executing tasks on command. And so I want to thank you, Dr. Smith, for being here. And then finally, I would like to introduce a dear friend of mine, Francis Bivigo, who was instrumental in making my travel to Gabon a reality. Francis has also handled my day-to-day visit while we were there, taking us from Libreville to Mouila and back up through Fugamo, Tuntom, and in Libreville. And he is the former executive director of the Gabon Oregon Transnational Research Center on Development and Environment. He is a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, and a researcher. And Francis represents our Afro-descendant group in Gabon. And so I want to thank you all for being here. And I would like to hand the floor to Tonton Louis.
Thank you, Kevin. I think you did an excellent presentation of the group. We are all ready now to have an opportunity to talk about this program. But I have a question for my co-host, who is Kevin. What had changed since you came back from Gabon to start?
First of all, it was the first time that I was in Africa. And because I was born and raised in the United States, my view, I didn't know what to expect. Going there and seeing everything that I saw when it came to whether it was the hustle and bustle of people in the day-to-day, whether it was, the roads, the water, the work, or lack of work for the young folks, and all the things that we experience coming back. What's changed for me is a better understanding of what Gabon is, a better understanding of who I am in relationship to Gabon, right? As coming from the Fong and Benga tribe, I have my horizons have expanded as I find out more and more about these groups that have been traditionally in Gabon and throughout Central Africa. So I feel I keep waiting for the opportunity, and I realize a week is not enough. That I want to go there, but I need to go there for a little bit longer. And the reason is very simple. Just
Long
going,
time.
just going from Libreville to Mouila took what, 8 hours?
Yes.
And so if I wanted to see Franceville, if I wanted to see other parts of Gabon, it's going to just take quite a bit longer to do it. So that's my impression of what has changed. It's mostly the stuff inside of me, realizing I need to find the time and I need to have the money. But more importantly than that, being able to bring in people like Francis and Smith who are on the ground and being able to say, what do I do when I'm there? Because first time it was there just to experience it. Now I'm going back with a purpose in mind. How can I be of use? And how can I be utilized by the people there to make changes, to lift people up, to do whatever I can? And a lot of that has to come with my knowledge of Gabon rather than the other way around. So,
yeah, thank you for this positive feedback. Now I have a question for Francis and Smith. Whoever want to say a word about that. Since this project had been developed and until now, how do you see the perspective? How do you feel after the first experience of that one?
Okay. I guess I'll speak because Smith maybe go for him. So thank you very much, first of all, for this podcast. It's very important for us after this first visit of Kevin and Mara in Gabon. It's very good that we continue working on all the things that we talked about during those long hours that we discussed. Today it is important. This first experience was really interesting for us, but not only for us, but for Kevin and Mara also, because it was very spiritual in a way, because you could tell that Mara and Kevin were really touched by the fact that they were touching Earth with their their ancestors' land. And today, the first thing that Kevin and Mara told us when they arrived is, we're not just here to be tourists, but we really want to learn as much as possible because we don't know anything about Gabon. And they came really raw and practically no information. Some information was given to them when we had the different, the Zooms we had all the way as we were preparing, but it was nothing like being here in Gabon. So the first objective was to learn as much as possible, and that's what we did for them. We had them understand the geography of Gabon. We had them understand the political situation of Gabon. We had them understand what is the cultural, and considering that Kevin and Mara had two ethnical groups that they belonged to, Fong and Benga. So we did everything so they could understand what is what are the origins of the Bengas and the Fongs. We had them understand what is also the art and all the art objects that surround all these different cultures. We went to the museum also. So really the idea was just really getting as much information as possible. And obviously in 1 week it's not very evident. And as Kevin said, traveling to Mouila is long. But I think what was really interesting in going to Mouila was we got 8 hours going, 8 hours back. So we discussed for 16 hours, and it was just non-stop from the beginning to the end. And sometimes we had to stop to look at the outside and on the things outside. But most of the time was spent really discussing. And what emerged from these discussions is, okay, we're now in Gabon. What do we do next?
thank you for joining us in today's podcast. I hope that you will join us again. If you found anything useful in this, please hit like and subscribe and hit the notification button. And you can stay tuned to the new podcast and other content that we create here. Have a good day, and thank you for joining Learning About Africa.